All right, so I'm back here in the LX. Today I'm gonna attempt to try and get reboot my CVs. This boot is torn pretty bad. Can't see it because it's on the bottom, but this is not a how-to. It's just kind of, I've never done anything like this, so I'm just gonna track my steps. So I don't have anything to hold the phone with. So it'll just be, after I've done a step, I'll probably just record it just to, know what I did and what to do at the end. All right, so this is some of the stuff that I bought to get this job done. I got some Permatex, and then I got some of these grease fittings at Harbor Freight. I'm gonna try to make my own grease tool. I saw Beginner's Luck Garage, I think, is on YouTube. He made his own, so I'll try to recreate that one. I brought a brass drift. I got this 54 millimeter socket on 4-wheel parts. They're the only ones that had it, ready next day. And I bought a fish scale to set the preload. So there's my one of my boot kits. I bought 2 of them, and I got the differential seals. I got some snap rings, some grease, some brake clean, and some degreaser. So I ordered everything online through an online dealership. It was a lot cheaper than my local dealer. There's a couple other things I need that I don't have here, but you get the point. All right, so I already have the tire off, of course. First step is going to be to remove the dust cover here and then the snap ring in there. So, all right, so I got the dust cover off and I got the snap ring that goes in here. I cleaned that off. Also, I got the ABS sensor off. It's one 10 millimeter and 2 12 millimeters, and I just moved it out the way. All right, so next step was I removed the brake caliper, 2 17 millimeter bolts in the back. I just zip tied it here so it's out of the way. I also took it off the bracket right here. All right, so next was remove the upper ball joint. Well, not remove it, just break it loose. What I did was I got a hammer. I put it right here, right in front, and I hit it with another hammer here on the pin of this hammer, the back of this hammer. And it came right out. I was trying to hit it up here with a 2-pound hammer. It wasn't doing anything. I tried about 2 minutes. But as soon as I hit it here, right in front, there's a little block here, came right out. Okay, so my upper ball joints need to be replaced. The FSM shows that it shouldn't move that easy, but these, 2 fingers, I'm able to wiggle them around fairly easy. I have a lot of play in my steering, so this could be one of the problems here. And then my boot, as you can see, the cover boot is torn, so I'm gonna order these ball joints up and replace those at a later time. Okay, so I hit my first problem. I can't get the axle out. I already got it out of the housing, the differential side. I removed the tie rod, the outer tie rod. I turned the steering wheel, seeing if I could get it off, but it's just not coming out. I think I'm gonna need some new tie rods. I don't think it's supposed to move that much. That's pretty bad. So I have to save up and get a new rack, might as well. All right, so I was able to get it out. You should replace that seal that it looks kind of like a brownish color. I bought one, so I'm gonna be putting that out next. But I was able to get the axle out. I might have to go and rent the Pitman arm puller to get this out the way to release the lower ball joint. I was hammering away at it, but can't seem to break it loose. So I'm going to take a break, think about what I'm gonna do next, and I'll continue with the video. Okay, so I decided to remove this whole assembly here. I was having issues removing it, but I supported it up here just to straighten it out a little bit. And then I just gave it a couple hits with the hammer, it popped right out. So this one also appears to be bad. It has so much play. So kind of bummed I had to now save up and get all these other parts put in. Especially this, you know, steering. It's freaking loose. Okay, so next I remove the seal that goes on the differential in there. There's a special tool for it. I saw on the forum that someone just used a pry bar, so that's all I used. Just make sure you don't scrape anything. Came right out very easy. Okay, so there's the new one and the old one. For my old one LX, it's part number 90311477027. Okay, so I cut open the boot. There's very little grease in here left, so this is the inboard side. And on the FSM, it says to make a mark, so what I did, I just went across here. I still need to clean it, so I don't know if this is gonna come off, but that's kind of what I did. The flash is on, so it's kind of hard to see, but you can see I just used a Sharpie and I just went across here, so that's where I'm going to try and line it up when I put it back together. All right, so in order to remove this cage right here, the one that holds the balls, you need to use a brass drift. It'd probably be easier if you had a vise to hold the other side, but I don't, so I just used this brass drift, hammered it out. Didn't want to move at first, but after a couple hits, it started to move. But there is a small snap ring in here, so remove that first, and then you could get this out pretty easy. All right, so this is the outer joint. It doesn't come apart, so I'm about 2 cans in of brake clean, so I just been spraying that out. I don't know if there's a better way or easier way of getting all this grease out, but I bought 4 cans, so I'm thinking that's probably going to be enough to get all this out. All right, so this is the outer side. It doesn't come apart. I used up 4 cans of brake clean. I see very little residue in there, so I'm pretty close to finishing up cleaning it. So I'm gonna go get some more brake clean and finish cleaning these up. So when the grease gets in there, there isn't much of that old grease in there. Okay, so this is the boot kit that you need for the for rebooting 04427-60120. It comes with the 2 boots that you need. It comes with 2 tubes of grease. The bigger one that's shown here, that's the one that goes into the outer one, the one that doesn't come apart. It comes with all the rings and locks that you need to put it all back together. All right, so the big tube of grease goes into the outer one. I thought I had got water in it because it was kind of yellow looking, but that's the color that it comes from Toyota. Okay, so I got some grease in there. Seems like it's overkill, but I mean, this thing probably has half of it left in the big tube. I tried to put as much in there. I tried to force it in there, spun this around, but even then it's so much left over. I didn't want to buy the special tool needed to put the OEM clamps on, so I got these screw-on type. They're kind of rounded off at the edge, so I mean, I don't know. Time will tell if it was a good decision or not. Hope that they don't tear into the boot, too soon. But yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. It's easier, it's faster. I'm gonna probably top this off with grease, and then you have to tape it here, so when you slide your boot in, you don't scratch it up. So I just put some electrical tape up top. I'm going to slide the boot down, but first I'm going to probably
go around it with as much grease as seems okay, and then just screw it all in, and I'll start on the inboard side. All right, so now I'm doing the inboard side. First, you still leave the tape that's on here, the electrical tape, so you could put the boot in. Okay, so once you get the boot in, you put in the cage. So the cage has two sides, so make sure that that smaller side goes down, and then we're gonna remove this tape, hammer the race back in there, and then we're gonna put the balls and grease it all up and put it all back together. All right, so once you got the race hammered down, make sure you don't miss that snap ring that goes around here. That's part of the kit. All right, so I'm doing the inboard side. I put grease on the balls to hold them in place. Now I'm gonna put in the tulip, and then the snap ring. That'll be it for this side. All right, so this is the inboard side. I'm about to push it into the diff. There's a ring here. Make sure that the opening is facing down. Okay, so I pushed that axle in. I heard it lock. I don't see it seated all the way, but it looks like it's in there. All right, so I had to take a break. I had to go run some errands. But I got everything back together. After I got the axle back in, I just put, I guess this is the spindle or hub or whatever. I put it all this assembly. I think that helped a lot to get it all back together. Since nothing was in the way, I was able to stick the drive shaft right in there and lock it in pretty easily. I just need to torque all these bolts, and I know I have other work I need to do on it later on. But for today, this is all it. I just need to get the calipers and everything bolted back up, and that's about it. But I mean, for someone like me that doesn't do much mechanical work, just like doing my own maintenance, this is easy enough for anyone to do with a little bit of know-how. I did read through the forums. I did read through the FSM. I got a lot of great tips on there. So I mean, hope this helps you guys, and thanks for watching.